The Buffalo Bills had another big victory on Christmas Eve against the Chicago Bears. Sorry about getting this video out a couple days after the game. With all the Christmas holidays and things, we had a lot going on. But the Bills did beat the Bears. They continued to use the tight ends. Like over the last few weeks, they've discovered the tight ends, and Dawson Knox and Quentin Morris are getting good playing time, and they're both playing well. And they found a running game. Cook, 99 yards, not quite 100, but Singletary got over 100. So having two running backs putting up great days like that, you're going to be successful. And having the tight ends and the running game involved is going to make you more successful in the red zone too. So that's why they've picked that up as well. And I see fans all upset. It looks like that Stephon Diggs or the wide receivers aren't getting the ball. Well, you know what? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You wanted the running backs, you wanted the tight ends to get involved. Now they're involved. Now you want only the wide receivers involved. Come on now. So they've got a very good diversified offense right now. Diggs will get his catches. Davis will be involved. Beasley, McKenzie, those guys are going to get catches too. So, and Shakir. So don't get worried about the wide receivers' involvement. Keep the running backs involved. Keep the tight ends involved. Have the wide receivers there. Give Josh all the weapons he can possibly have to get the ultimate prize. And that's that big dub. And just win, baby. Just win. Special teams, the wind was a problem. And I think you go into the game knowing the wind's going to be a problem. And it was. Tyler had a couple of bad field goal attempts, an extra point, and a field goal. And after the game, McDermott was asked about that, and he said, you know, he's not really worried about that. It's a very uncharacteristic day for Tyler Bass, and Tyler, with that wind, I don't think he's worried about it at all, and I'm not worried about it at all. Tyler's a great kicker, and we all love Bass. The biggest key to the game, in my opinion, was the defense containing Justin Fields. We've had trouble in the past containing a mobile quarterback. If you go back to the playoffs last year with Mahomes, there were several times he beat us with his feet, and it was because some of our defensive ends or defensive linemen left their feet trying to go for the fake when Mahomes would do a little pump fake. We didn't do that on Christmas Eve against the Bears. Justin Fields, they kept his feet. I think they gave up 11 yards rushing, which to Justin Fields, that's an amazing day if you can shut him down like that. And they shut down the running game as well. So with that wind, that's the way you win. Defense wins championships, and defense helped win that game. Josh didn't seem to have a problem with it, at least in the second half, so with the wind. So we come away with the W. Speaking of the defensive line, give props to Rousseau, Oliver, Jones, Settle, Epinesa. All those guys are playing fantastic, and people were worried when Von Miller went down. Is the defensive line going to be able to step up? And so far they have. But the biggest props, in my opinion, and the player that I think has far exceeded my expectations for this season is Shaq Lawson. Shaq Lawson, coming from the Dolphins and back to the Bills, from playing with the Dolphins and the Jets, where they basically just cast him aside, he's making a difference for the Buffalo Bills. And love Shaq Lawson. I love his attitude before games when we get a chance to talk to him and meet him. He always seems really happy. He's where he's supposed to be. He's a Buffalo Bill, and he's getting the job done this year. Finally, props to our coaching staff, as they did a good job. A little question, like what happened there at the end of the first half with the timeouts. You know, they decided to use one, then the next play they decided not to and let the clock run out. But maybe they thought the better of it and just decided to go to halftime. So the coaching staff, I thought, did a really good job. The play calling, the diversification of the play calling is what I like. Some fans may not, but I do, and I think it's what's going to help us win games. And also props to Brandon Beane, because he has brought a talented team and a lot of talented backups like Shaq Lawson to the team. And so glad that we have an organization where players want to come back. Several guys this year have come back to the team. So now we go on to Cincinnati. It's a huge game. What a big game coming up. As if they win, they play the Patriots the next week to clinch the AFC conference, to get that bye week and home field advantage. And if something else happens, then we could fall all the way down to third place in the conference. Host a game, but probably not host any games after that. So, yeah, huge game. And as some other coach of another team in our conference or our division said, on to Cincinnati. And hopefully we have a big game there and come out with another victory. But no matter what happens, I always want to remind you, God loves you. And so do